Hello, everyone. Who's here first?
That's not true.
What?
That's not true. I did you notice I stayed back to give you that opportunity to
Oh, that was
pounce on?
so nice.
You're welcome.
Oh, wait. You probably didn't even hear me.
They didn't need to hear anything. What's going on, guys? So,
Technical difficulties?
major technical difficulties this morning. Fix your mic.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to say anything.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna. No. You don't even know what I'm saying. You don't even know what needs to be fixed. Oh, Kristen Warren. Okay, boom. See?
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Can't you hear the difference? So what's going on, guys? We are live right now. We had major technical difficulties all the way up to the very last second, and technically still do, but
Yes.
the show must go on, as they say. I'm not sure if we even have a promo. Here's what happened. My computer that we normally use just completely died. Like 15 minutes before the show, and I didn't check it at all, wasn't charging, this and that. So I had to pull my computer out of my office. Why is this light not on? I thought something looked a little funny. We don't look bad though. Can you plug that light on? Ingrid missed missed the light this morning.
I did. Oh, okay. It's my fault.
Everything is your fault. You know that.
Yep.
So, yep.
How's that?
Oh, so much better. So that light technically needs to get moved. Go ahead and unplug that light. I don't like that light.
Oh, so we're gonna do like a technical rehearsal while we're live.
Everything's gone to hell, to be honest with you. So, and then you just broke the thing. I don't know, guys. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday. It is Friday. It is. I don't know the date now because Ingrid just changed the screen. January 19th. Can you come back?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Me?
No, not you.
Okay.
So we are.
I just in case you needed anything else.
No. If I needed something else, I would have said something. So Ingrid is scrambling to figure out something. I'm not sure what she's trying to figure out. So we may not even have a promo to play.
Well, that's all right.
But I'm
That's
trying
right.
to get the other
same.
We can still do the introduction.
Hey, well, look how big my computer is. We can't see Ingrid.
I know, it's
anymore.
great. So hidden.
Oh, I like having the eye contact with her. I can do the eye roll.
I do too. So Ingrid's gonna do some logging.
Wait, you do eye rolls too?
No, I don't do eye rolls. I like to be able to see her, and we can't. So again, we are live. It is January 19th, 2024.
That's right.
In today's show, brought to you live by Carolina Coops. Have you been out on the floor today?
Are you gonna? Yeah. Well,
It's a question.
A
Please
little
have
bit.
an answer.
I actually tried to come in that way, and it was blocked off.
Yeah.
So I had to leave and go.
We are in a full factory reset. It is unbelievable. I am, Ingrid started eating like 2 seconds before we're supposed to go live. I'm like, what is wrong? She goes, well, I'm very nervous. It's stressing me out. I'm like, she really knew in the big picture the chaos that's going on. Having a computer not work.
So we can do introductions.
Things could always be worse. So we are live. Today, I'm going to get a lot off my chest. I ain't going to lie to you folks.
Well, we don't have the promo. So you are Matt.
My name.
I'm Kristen, and we have Ingrid.
Oh, I think everyone knows who we are.
Probably.
Should we do an improv promo? And then I'm not sure if Nan's even listening. Nan's not feeling good, and I hate when she doesn't feel good.
Oh.
It bothers the hell out of me. I don't know what's going on. She says she feels car sick, and she hasn't even been in a car. Any idea what that means? Is that FIFA? Is that too much?
FIFA.
So hopefully everything looks normal.
We don't have any of our sound effects.
We have nothing.
We can do them. That would be fun.
All right, we're gonna have to set.
That used to be a bug
No,
guy.
not do your creepy eating stuff.
So, and I don't have a mouse. I have nothing.
kinda cold.
Oh, you
in
have
here.
no mouse?
Yeah, I have. So, if you guys
You're
have,
in control, Ingrid.
if you guys
That's
have-
fantastic.
if you guys have any questions, please let us know. But the point today is, I do need to get a lot off my chest. But I'm telling you, there is a lot that I think we need to talk about that is happening to a lot of people right now.
Yeah, there is some bitter cold out there. That's for sure.
Oh, I think Nan just quit. I just literally saw her walk by the front window, which I never see.
Well, there could be a lot of reasons why she walks
yeah.
by.
No,
the-
she never does that. She never leaves her office.
She does leave her office. She goes to the bathroom. I've seen her in the kitchen.
So
She has been in other.
today we wanted to really hyper focus on our heated water system. Yes, Matt, we wanted to. That's exactly it. Did you not know that? Did you
I'm
not
a
get the
little
memo?
burnt out on that for this week.
Why are you burnt out on it?
It's been. I've had a lot of calls about it. Just people or about the cold in general. People concerned about their chickens. Just this morning.
Now you're sugarcoating it.
About
what do you mean? Calls in
frostbite
general,
and all sorts of cold weather related calls.
What
advice,
in the
troubleshooting.
I didn't mean to do that.
All right, so we're screen sharing. Ingrid is just over there as a busy bee.
I didn't mean to.
It don't matter. That's the heated water system.
That's not what I meant to do, though, and now I can't get back to you guys.
Just go back to new scene. There you go. Hit play.
Okay.
File not found. Not now. What did you do?
I
you got to turn off the overlay.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
People, I'm sorry. I usually am more prepared for class.
Yes, and honestly, this tends to be one of our best shows. Is when it's just chaos. And today's gonna be chaos. But again, I wanted to talk about the heated water system in more depth, and I hope everyone has told everyone. If you have one of our heated water systems and if you're having problems, I hope you tune into today's show. Because I'm going to do the best I can to try to explain this isn't complicated. And I think that's the first mistake people make. I'm leaving you trying
I want to say it seems complicated.
Okay.
So I don't. Am I allowed to disagree?
What's new?
Just testing you.
Okay, no, you disagree. I think you make it a job to disagree with me, especially this week.
It keeps you on your toes.
When I'm on the phone with you and people are like coming into my office going, "Is everything okay?" Yeah, people probably think you working here, you got the greatest job working with me because they probably think this is what you do all week.
Oh my God.
They have no idea.
That's interesting.
So, again, I want to get into, I guess, anything cold, anything freezing. We have this polar vortex. Actually, I don't know if it's a polar vortex, but it's cold.
Year too.
Yeah, it's dropped down deep into Texas, and it's cold everywhere, but I think southern Florida, which actually Ethan just left. I called and checked in on him. He just finished an amazing coop as an addition to an existing coop. The customer called up. I got to put him on speaker while we were in a big staff meeting. The customer couldn't have been happier.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which makes me so happy to hear that. And then Ethan, on the way home yesterday, is headed to finish up something. He forgot the customer's keys at the previous stop. So he's there right now.
Oh, they trusted him with keys?
Yeah.
That's
but,
so nice.
But decided to get into an accident.
Wait, he got in an accident?
Yeah. You know, like when the buzzer goes off here at 4:30, everyone's like, oh, they don't realize one of the things about owning a business, there is no buzzer. There's no bell. Yeah.
I don't leave at 4:30.
Yeah, and it's really...
I also don't come in on time. But you can count on me on the back end.
We're aware. How do you prove when someone says, it wasn't my fault, I was in my lane, but the police officer says, no, it's your fault? What do you do? Yeah. Yeah, but the dinner was amazing. Thank you, Mackenzie. Mackenzie came over and made some type of stew last night that was incredible. Yeah, you missed out. And I don't like...
Too late, sorry.
Yeah, I don't like stew, but it was so...
I had to come... Sorry.
So good. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just killing time, folks.
And I know. I'm trying to get stuff together.
Yeah, Ingrid's getting stuff together.
There's no way to do it.
And I start to see
way.
The comments, and then it disappears. So
I'm just waiting for my hair to dry.
So if you guys have any questions, today we're talking about. I see that.
Sorry about that.
So somebody said what I was thinking. She's
maybe she has vertigo.
She's pregnant.
No, someone said I'm a midwife. You know what unexplained nausea means to me?
A midwife?
Uh-huh.
What's a midwife?
They help deliver babies.
So why would you be nauseous?
Oh my God,
Matt!
Do we have to connect all
morning
the dots?
sickness?
No, rephrase that, and it's a legit question. Why would not? I'm a midwife, right?
Yes.
Someone said I'm a midwife. Okay. You know what unexplained nausea means to me? Okay.
So a midnight.
You
midwife.
didn't read it like that. It read that. Yeah, I have nausea because I'm a midwife.
Oh.
That's what I heard. Well, why would a midwife have nausea? Thank you. Oh my God, I wish Nan was pregnant. Oh my God, now is when I would love to have all kinds of babies, especially twins, because twins run in my family. Fun fact, my father was a twin.
Really?
Yeah, that was something. He didn't find out until he was in Vietnam, but that's another story. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, especially about cold, especially about freezing, anything that has to do with the cold and chickens and coops, and of course, anything at all.
Life.
Yeah, life.
Our friend Benjamin said dash cam. Maybe we should get some.
We have them.
Oh.
We have 2 in every truck.
Well, wouldn't that show if he was in his lane?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I need time to sit down and now do some investigation work. I'm just going to call the state trooper in Florida. find out what happened.
I'm sure
I was going to call him last night.
He would love to talk to you.
Yeah, they love to get on the phone with random people.
Yeah. Well, I got the phone call of the person that supposedly hit Ethan. Ethan claims the person was coming over into his lane and clipped the back of the trailer. But I'm pretty sure if I talk to that other person, they're saying, no, because Ethan's like, well, there was an accident ad. He had to get off the lane to avoid and yield, And then when he came back into his lane, apparently that car was already speeding up, changing lanes. So I don't know. Thank God no one got hurt. But that's how our dinner went last night. Yeah, that was a major buzzkill to get that phone call. So, Ingrid, how are you doing over there?
Oh, just peachy.
I can't see her.
I know.
We might, I would love to see her, but that's kind of funny that we can't see her because we're so used to seeing her, but we can just bring her up on the camera on the
Yeah.
So, why don't you, if you could leave the comments up, let's warm up. Let's already 73 people. Thank you for being here today.
Wow. We don't deserve it. We're so unprepared for class.
If you have any questions, just leave them below and we will answer every question you got. Love the blue shirts. What are the
We didn't plan that.
We did not plan that. That's so funny. Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, we're in blue. Oh, my God. I had an employee this morning. He just stopped in his tracks, and he just starts shaking his head. I'm like, what? He goes, I can't talk to you anymore. I'm like, what?
Okay, Wolfpack.
What is it about the South and how much they're in love with college?
Well, why'd you buy that T-shirt?
One, it's not a T-shirt. It's a long-sleeve shirt.
It's a long-sleeve
and
T-shirt.
I'm sure Non got for. Well, I love Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you were a
UNC?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Michael Jordan. Hello.
Oh.
IP3, Italian Pizzeria 3.
Oh.
I mean,
what? So you like a restaurant in town, so you go for their team?
Hell yeah! What is there not to like?
I didn't know that.
What is there not to like about Chapel Hill, North Carolina? Tell me one thing.
I was just trying to make eye contact with Kristen.
Ingrid just popped her head above like a gopher in the whack-a-mole game. What's there to not like about Chapel Hill, North Carolina?
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah, because it's one of the greatest places in this country, which is
I know more about I know about the town. I just don't know about the team.
It's UNC. Okay.
So Karsten says we're feeding our chickens corn to help them internally deal with a cold. Seems to be working as they're laying eggs as usual, and then they seem to be happy.
Yep.
Which is one of on my slideshow that I think got on here now. That was one of the things, the scratch grains in the corn, because if you give it to them later in the afternoon, they'll eat that, and their body's digesting that and breaking it down will actually warm up their little bodies. So I think they're laying eggs because Kristen, do they stop laying eggs when it's cold? No. It's usually because it's not the temperature, it's the amount of sunlight, daylight.
So it's the sugar in corn, right, that helps them. They burn the sugar. That's what helps keep them warm.
Yeah, it's a carb.
I guess they can digest corn. Probably the only animal that can.
All right, so Ingrid, did you say you're ready? We are live. We have 82 people already. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry about the beginning. Technical difficulties. We had to swap out computers. We had to do a brain transplant within like seconds in the studio here.
Yeah, well, we also spent like 20 minutes trying to troubleshoot the first computer, too.
I was just eating a bagel in the kitchen.
You didn't eat some of the chicken biscuits that I got this morning from Bojangles? Boy, and the Bowberry biscuits, Slob out there, who's a visitor down from New York, clearing out the shop, doing a reset out there with everyone. He's never had Bojangles, never had a Bowberry biscuit before.
I've never had Bojangles.
Oh my God, you don't know what you're missing. It's the world's best fried chicken, and those Bowberry biscuits, they're naughty. They are so good. All right, so can we get into it now?
Yeah, how cold is it?
I don't have it set up to show you guys in the background. Or to show you on the screen if I bring it up.
Just bring up the overlay. Oh, what is this? All right, well, let's go ahead and when you're done eating, let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
What are you eating over there?
Oh, my God.
Little granola bar. Okay, so I don't know how, I know.
Oh, okay, guys.
That's Matt now. That's not me.
Can you bring on the camera so that you can see us?
No.
Yes, you can.
Where?
No, don't leave that alone.
I'm just trying to...
leave. Okay.
Okay.
Go turn over. Go to the left. Down.
No, you need your mouse, don't you?
Down.
Matt?
Yes. Down. Right there. Nope. Do you see the little camera that says plus camera? Add a camera. Did it work?
Yeah.
No, not that one. You're not going to turn that one. You're going to. All right. You know what? Forget it.
All right,
wait, there it is. So, all right, never mind.
It's there, but it's not there.
All right, forget it. We'll get to it later. Moving on. Tips to help your flock in the winter. All right. Okay. Good start.
Good job, Ingrid.
Did you use AI for this?
No.
Can I tell a funny story?
Sure.
So,
It's your show.
we got friends in town, and she's taking college courses, and she's stressing over this essay she has to do. Right? So I'm like, just use AI. She goes, I can't use AI. No, that's and I get it.
See, now I'm in here.
Yeah, you can just go ahead and exit out.
Oh my god.
She's like, well, I can't use AI. I'm like, what is the subject, right? So she starts telling me. So I start putting in the AI, and it generates the most amazing essay within like 30 seconds. And I start reading it to her, and she's like, that's not bad. That's not bad. And I keep going. She goes, you can send that to me. So I'm like, I hope you get the best grade in the world. And she submits it. Do you know what they do now in class to grade your essays?
What?
They put it through an AI generator to see if you used AI. And you have to be under 25% of potential use of AI. She was a little over, so they made her change some words.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, something just made me think of that with the slide you were showing with the. Oh, did you use AI for the slideshow?
No, I made my slideshow like I always make.
All right, perfect. Old school. All right, well, let's get back to it. Yes, I love it.
Sorry.
Just trying to buy you time.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know where I am. Okay, here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Tips to help your flock in the winter.
So the first slide is all about to keep your chicken water from freezing. So I figured you would talk about that.
Oh yeah. I got a bone to pick.
The reason why it's empty on the bottom here is because I wanted you guys in there, but
and that's what made me think about bringing the camera in. All right, so listen. What are some of the problems about chickens in the wintertime?
Water freezing, frostbite, snow. They don't tend to like snow.
Okay, so if they don't like snow, what happens?
I don't have a lot of personal experience.
They stay inside their hen house if you don't have a solid roofed run.
Right.
Which is why
they avoid the snow.
Which is why we love having a solid roofed run. Keeps the snow out. And also with that run, you have sidewalls typically. Mm-hmm. So you can add the Carolina Coops storm shields, which are absolutely incredible.
Wait, you're jumping the gun here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just...
All right, so we're supposed to talk about the...
So wait, I have...
If you gave me a chance, I was not jumping the gun.
Well, I have storm
We should have had a dry run.
Well, can you guys please, honest to God, just have faith in me, okay?
You know what? I could leave and you wouldn't even know it for
The
a
hell
while
I
because
wouldn't.
you can't see me.
All right, go back, please.
All right.
Jeez, let me do... No, go back in the slides. Oh my God, folks, I swear. I am so sorry.
So the first item...
The beauty of a slideshow. Go right back to the beginning.
Do you want to start with keeping the water from freezing?
Okay, listen. So
or are we still brainstorming?
We identified right off the bat 3 main problems that you could potentially face with having chickens in the wintertime, right?
Right.
And we rambled off water freezing, snow, and we talked about how we can solve that. And then what was the other one? Just frostbite, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about those 3. Thank you. Let's start with the frozen water. Well,
that's a good place to start.
Thanks. Imagine that. So chickens and all animals, we all need water, right? We can't live without water. And one of the chores that potentially you have to have every day with chickens is to make sure they have food and water.
Right.
And imagine having these chickens and all of a sudden it's freezing out and the water is frozen. The chickens can't drink it, right?
Right.
Let me ask you something, Kristen, because people say this. If their water freezes, or let's say their heated water system was not installed correctly and it has failed, and their water freezes, are the chickens going to die right away?
No.
Okay. Thank you. How long would you say, not that we want to test it or push it, if their water freezes, should people be panicking right away that the chicken's going to die? Or how long do you think chickens can go without water?
Without dying? I think if it freezes in the morning but it thaws out in a couple hours, I think they'll be fine.
Typical Southerner. You know what happens up north? It doesn't thaw out for about a month.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to do something.
That's like when your kids came up to New York that one time and it snowed and they were trying to get out there as fast as possible before it melted. I'm like, it's not going to melt for a month or longer. All right. So
we were like, hurry up, get your stuff up. We got to go outside.
So, okay, let's say you're going to be in freezing temperatures for a week, which is very common up north. All right. Are the chickens, how long until you really got to make sure you resolve the issue of having some frozen water or making sure the chickens have water?
That day.
Okay. So would you say you got 24 hours, 48 hours?
They shouldn't go without water for 24 or 48 hours.
Okay. So it is something that's pretty urgent.
It is
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to get to the water system and make sure they have water. If the water bar is frozen, in this case, like the heated water system, what is one of the first things a customer can do to make sure the chickens have water?
Take out fresh water.
Okay. So bring them out fresh water. And then after that, we got to figure out why the system is frozen.
Mm-hmm. We got to
troubleshoot. And one of the things that I've noticed, a common theme that we got to figure out how to fix, is people think something broke because of the part is manufactured wrong or whatever. For example, the pump.
Mm-hmm.
That's a common one. Oh, my pump burned out. Well, that might be true, but that doesn't mean replacing it with a new pump is the solution, because you're just going to keep burning out pumps. Okay? So I'll give an example. Like yesterday, we ended our day doing some calls for the heated water systems, and this one customer, she's burned out 3 pumps. So we always ask them, send us pictures. If they ever have problems with the heated water system, send us pictures, right?
Right.
And we need those pictures because it's hard for us to troubleshoot what's going on. And 100% of the time when we go down this path, there is something wrong in the setup or the install. Because if it's installed correctly and you have power, it does work. And even yesterday, the lady had the wrong plug for the pump.
Yeah. It looks like her handyman couldn't get the plug to fit into her exterior outlet. So he made the decision to swap out the plug.
Yeah.
With different amperage and volts.
Yeah, so just because the terminals mate, the male and female terminal, and if you plug it in and the pump's running, it doesn't mean it's right. Okay, the plugs for these pumps, do you remember what it is, what the specs are?
12 volts.
12 volt DC. And how many amps?
1 amp. 2 amps.
2 amps. And that's a lot for those little transformers.
It's a lot for me to remember, too.
Well, you did good. All right.
So we have a question that is has to do with that.
Please.
From East Stormy. So I'm going to put this up here. Oh, that's kind of
Good
small.
morning. Good afternoon, East Stormy.
Hello.
She's up in upstate New York.
Cortland area. So is there an alternative way to power the de-icer if I don't have power going to the coop? My husband says 1,500 is too much for a solar battery to run more than one off.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Can you...
Hold on. 1,500 is too much. 1,500 watt?
That de-icer is 1,500 watts.
Yeah. The de-icer is 1,500.
Okay. 1,500 watts for a solar battery to run more than a one off. Well, I can tell you, so this is a question we get a lot, and this is very important. A lot of people want to run our heated water systems using power that's solar. The math, you can do the math, and you start right there. Our de-icers are 1,500 watts. That's a lot, and you need it. And
Not necessarily every part of the country.
Why? Why do you do this? Because now you're going to start a whole thing of phone calls.
People in Florida don't need a 1,500 watt.
According to the manufacturer, you're not wrong.
That's
right.
But
what have we learned?
One size fits all.
Thank you. Okay. So.
More is better.
Sometimes. And in this case, yes, the 1,500 watt.
She probably needs it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You would need a huge solar system in order to make sure your heated water system is getting reliable power.
That's right.
And that key word is reliable. I love solar. I love the idea of solar. However, the problem with solar is it takes it's a huge storage bank of power to power something that is basically a direct short. using a lot of wattage, a lot of amperage to power this thing, you will drain those batteries so quickly. Well, if you got to keep these large batteries up to charge, well, you need a lot of solar panels. Like, you just would not believe how big of a system it would take so that you never have to worry about it.
Right.
And then when you're in upstate New York, one thing I couldn't believe is there is a solar map of your potential ideal light that is available for a system.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how there's not a lot, especially up in New York. I remember even down in Georgia where we tried this, you have optimal 3 to 4 hours of daylight, usable daylight a day.
Right.
And that's not a lot.
Well, the issue is it takes...
I don't know if I mean, I have solar panels on my house. I don't have just 3 hours of optimal daylight, and I'm not even in direct southern exposure.
And I might be using the wrong words.
Okay.
You can look at the chart, and when these engineers design these solar systems, they say, okay, well, where do you live? And you tell them, you're like, okay, on average, you have this number of optimal daylight. Like, you might have some days that you're going to get more charge, you might have days you have less, and it averages out. But you would think just because, well, it's the sun's up for 12 hours, you got 12 hours of daylight. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just, when it made it sound like the solar panels would only be working, charging your house or whatever for 3 hours.
No, okay, you're right. I'm sorry. That's not at all what I meant. If anything, they're always working. They're always getting some voltage, even when the clouds are out. But it may not be optimal, might not be ideal.
And there's two other issues with using solar, and that is it takes a lot of energy to heat water.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not just using solar for a shed light or something, because LED lights use very little power, and it takes a very little solar, and battery to do light. Light's not a big deal, but to heat up water, you need a lot of power. The other issue is we need that power in the dead of winter when it's the coldest, cloudiest. So it's not ideal for solar.
This reminds me, is it true that a lot of these electric cars, like the Teslas, the batteries are not holding charge when they got into the deep freeze, and it's causing all kinds of problems?
Yep.
I heard that on the news.
Yeah, the cold is mean to a battery, so that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, so E-Stormy,
So you're going to have to drop an extension cord.
Yeah.
It's not recommended to use an extension cord, but yes, it can work.
Between you and me, drop an extension cord.
I guess
follow the manufacturer's recommendations.
Yeah, it is hard when people don't have any kind of electricity.
Is there an opposite of a golden bell that I can use?
Where's your gavel?
It's at the conference table.
You're going to hit me on the head with it?
No.
So Gina has a great comment. She says, we have 6 inches of snow and my chickens refuse to come out of the house. It's been 5 days. Will they be okay? And I'm thinking, are they in like her house? Like Kristen's chickens are sometimes in her house? Like, are they inside or just inside?
I'm sure she means the hen house.
Really?
And they'll be okay. Make sure they have food and water inside.
Yeah.
So, Ingrid, I'm so proud of you.
Even
that
if it's temporary.
You're learning to never assume, so thank you. Two, right, they're probably in the hen house or the coop, which is common.
I just like the idea of her having 6 chickens in her house. It's like, it's cold. Can I let them out, Is it okay?
So
they could be.
This is a common problem.
Some people do that.
I'm aware. This is a common problem when they build their own coop, they don't attach a run with a solid roof.
Yeah.
What a difference it makes adding that one part to your coop.
The day that we had all that downpour rain, all my chickens were happy. I closed the free range door because I didn't want them to go out because I didn't want them. I knew it was cold and I didn't want them to be soaking wet. So I just locked them in there. They were happy as can be because they're in there all the time anyway. So when they have the option to, they can go out, they were fine. But yes. So
hold on.
Okay.
Suzanne Smith says twins were adopted out to separate families. Might not know they're separate.
Someone asked, "How do you not know you're a twin?"
Your dad.
So something just occurred to me I never thought about my entire life until just now.
What?
So my dad was told that he's a twin and that his brother died at birth. But what I can tell you is my dad's family is the government still calls. We'll just leave it at that. And there's a lot of things you just don't know what to believe and this and that. And it just occurred to me I could have seen his mother saying, "Oh, I only need one. I don't need two." Sell off one of them, and then keep the other one. Kept my dad. Could you imagine if my dad's brother was alive and out there somewhere and had no idea? I just never thought about that until right now. That's how I read it.
Interesting.
I bet you that happens a lot, right? Anyways.
Yeah. Sometimes I get 2 chickens and I don't really need one. So
Amy asked, chicken question, heater versus no heater, pros and cons.
Can you bring it in? I need to read it.
I also have a slide for this as well.
A heater versus no heater, pros and cons. Oh, are you talking about inside the chicken coop? Oh, yeah. We'll get to that. We will get to that for sure, because that is probably one of the most common no-nos when it comes to the wintertime for your chickens, is putting a heater in there. So we'll definitely talk about that. All right, well, let's get back to the slide. Thank you so much for all the questions and comments. Keep bringing them in. We will definitely get to them. And I promise we'll oh, my mouse doesn't work.
I know. Is this fun? This is fun
No,
watching you
it's
struggle.
not fun. You know, I like to check how our audience is doing, because we might have to kick 95.
We were over
100. We
100.
are back, baby. We are back.
We were over 100.
well,
People left.
Karsten said, too cold outside. Everyone is inside watching you guys.
Yeah, so
Only we had a better show.
I know.
Yeah.
What a mess today.
So Bridget says, first-time poultry owners in Lincoln, Illinois. Our American Coop was turnkey installation late last October. Thank you, guys. Anyway, I was nervous about our below zero temps last week, but working.
That's great.
So happy with the Coop. All right, we'll go back to your slideshow there.
Yes, thank you, Bridget.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
If you just make a scene. Okay.
All right, forget that.
All right,
I am going to make a scene.
We're back
in a
at
minute.
100. Again, if you just joined us, we are live January 19th, 2024. Today, we're just trying to really talk about the problems you have with chickens in the wintertime. Not so much the winter, but the cold.
Yes.
The cold. The other thing I want to mention, I was trying to set the stage here. Please remember something. Chickens actually do well themselves in cold temperature. It's the wind chill that is a killer. And then on the opposite end, it's the heat. In the summertime, that is what we should be focused more on when it comes to temperature. That is what can stress and kill your chickens. All right, so poultry, add a winterizing bundle to our poultry watering system or water system. Okay.
So these are just the components.
Yep, so we made some changes. And even today, it came up that over the history, it was kind of tricky to order the heated water system from Carolina Coops and kind of piece it together. And of course, you got a lot of people doing DIY or whatnot. We finally, I guess, made some decisions and have settled on, you start with your basic water system. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to make it so it doesn't freeze, you add your winterizing bundle. And all that is what you guys see right now on the screen. It's the heat it, which is the yellow device right there, the thermostatic switch, and the de-icer, which is that silver donut ring looking thing with a black cord coming to it. And just by adding these two things to your basic water system, you can actually have water, 50 gallons of water, not freeze, all the way down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So here's a great picture, or a kind of a schematic, if you will, a diagram. I'm not sure what you're doing.
I'm trying to show you guys.
I appreciate it. That's fine.
Right.
I think
I can't compete with that barrel.
I think we're over that.
Okay.
And what I was hoping to do is I hope people can use this along with our other troubleshooting videos. And we actually just had a video come up, another troubleshooting video on a water system. I even showed how to check your de-icer, how to clean it using vinegar.
It's more of a fall prep one. It was just released yesterday.
It is. It is fall prep, but it can also help with troubleshooting.
Yeah.
And that is, here's the basic water system. It's very basic. You got a food safe high density polyethylene barrel that holds up to 50 gallons of water. You don't have to use ours. You don't have to buy ours. Wish you would.
We don't really have one. I mean, it's not ours. We recommend it.
That is.
We don't make that.
Okay. Yes, this is not our product, is
Right.
what Kristen's trying to say. But this is a product that we spend enormous hours on making sure that it's the right device to recommend.
Right, but if people have an issue with it, they need to call the manufacturer.
Well, yeah, that is very true, 'cause it's not our
We didn't
product.
make it. That's not ours.
Especially now with the new lid that pops off. People are loving
like it?
I love it. Is it available yet?
I don't know. It's not our product.
But what is...
Okay, go ahead.
Are you doing something? Because I can't see you.
I
We
don't
can't see
know.
you.
I know.
I'm getting the red flag ready. So you fill up a barrel, a containment system. It's a holding reservoir of water, all right? And you drop down your 1,500 watt de-icer. And the reason why we want 1,500 watts is because that way it's not worth trying to save a couple bucks, especially if you're on the threshold between zone 1 and 2 or whatever these zones are that they say, you only need 500 watts here, but you need 1,500 watts up here. Technically speaking, and maybe the office can correct me if I'm wrong, the 1,500 watt de-icer, do you know what that's rated for?
I think you just said
it's 20,
negative 20.
Negative 20. It's right on the instructions here.
But our system, I am saying 50 gallons down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit because we're only holding 50 gallons of water. That de-icer is good for 300 gallons.
Wow.
At negative 20?
At negative 20.
Wow.
So to kind of give you an idea, we have redundancy. We have extra power.
It's overkill.
Yes. Which it's worth a couple extra bucks. So that's why we just went to that one, and it works beautifully. And then the other thing is that, it sits down in your rain barrel. It's meant to sit into a plastic container, and it turns on and off by itself. The other mistake people make all the time, this is probably the number one mistake people make with the heated water system, is they plug their de-icer into the heat-it. And I get it because you have heater, heat-it, only must go together, and that is a big, big no-no. So all you do is you plug that de-icer right into the outlet. You're done. Okay? It will know when to come on based on temperature.
That's built into it. Yep.
All right. So the second part is water feeds the water bar. The water bar is the part that goes inside the coop or wherever you put it, where the chickens have access to it. They have access to the nipples. And the other thing, I cannot say this enough. Just because there's a pump on our water bar doesn't mean the water bar only works when the pump is on. And that's another one people are getting confused on. The pump is only there to come on when it's in freezing temperatures to circulate the water so it stays warm. Because if we didn't circulate the water won't freeze in the rain barrel, but it's definitely going to freeze in the lines and in the water bar.
That's right.
But if it's circulating, it won't.
It's the same principle as like when it's really cold and you might leave your faucet dripping a little bit so the pipes don't freeze.
Moving water, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think of it like if you're hanging out with your friends in a hot tub in the middle of January and you have a couple beers and then you go out and do a snow angel or you steamroll in the snow. Okay, you got to get back into the hot tub. That's what the water needs to do. I have videos of it. True story. Okay. So the pump needs to come on. It needs to be plugged in. The thermostatic switch needs to work so it circulates the water. Now, guess what?
What?
If there is blockage anywhere in those lines, in the water bar, if it can't circulate the water, guess what doesn't happen? The water doesn't warm up. It's going to freeze. So I cannot emphasize enough, and we have videos of this. You want minimum for that return, that pump to pump the water through the water bar back up to the top of the rain barrel, a minimum of 1 gallon per minute. Okay? If it's pumping at 1 gallon a minute, you have good flow. So very important. That's the other thing I cannot emphasize enough. Go out and check your heated water system. Make sure if it's not cold, plug that pump in directly to let it run. But if it is freezing, go out and check it. It should be on. Look inside your rain barrel. Make sure that water, you got good flow. It should shoot halfway into that rain barrel. And that means you got about 1 gallon, a minimum of 1 gallon per minute of flow. If you don't have that and it gets really, really cold, it might freeze. All right. The other thing is if your pump is making a lot of noise, something's wrong. And it's got restriction, it's got the wrong plug, because the plug that, we were talking about that customer last night, we were assuming her handyman swapped out the plugs to a 5-volt DC.
Yeah, it was
with 1,000 I think it was 100 milliamps or 1,000 milliamps, like so small of an amperage. That pump didn't stand a chance.
No.
Of course it's going to get burned out. What happened to our pitcher?
Well, I mean, we were on there and you were talking. I
She's
wanted to go back
switching
to
things up.
I know, as you should.
I got 2 things to do. Click here at this.
I know. So questions and comments so far. Especially if you have the heated water system or you're thinking about buying it. Again, the system works beautifully, but everything's got to be hooked up right.
Here we go. For you.
Question. When the pump is running, no water comes out of the nipples when the chickens try to drink. Is it normal or something set up wrong? Okay, thank you. Okay. When the pump is running, now listen. All right, so let me reverse this. If you have water in your system, okay, so I don't want to assume anything. So you got to have water in order for water to come through. And if that water level is above your water bar, gravity should push that water through the water bar, through the pump, through the water bar. And when you press on those stainless steel triggers, on those nipples, okay, you're going to press on these nipples. It should allow water to come through. If the water level is above the water bar and you are not getting water, there's blockage somewhere. Turn the hose bib on. Make sure you just got water flowing. That should not matter if the pump is hooked in or on or off. Water should be coming out of these nipples. If, again, they're not, make sure your hose bib is on. Mm-hmm. I've seen it happen. I know it sounds stupid, but don't forget to turn that on. And what I would do, and again, I'm assuming it's one of our systems, go and unscrew the discharge hose that feeds back into the rain barrel, unscrew that and lower it. And technically, you should not get water coming out of that hose until you are level with the water level inside the water barrel or lower, because now it's, going to come out. Mm-hmm. If you do that and you're down below your water level and there's not water coming out, you have blockage. And you got to go through the system. And there's going to be a video coming out soon of me doing that because it happened to us here. I wasn't getting the flow I needed. Mm-hmm. And long story short, not to ruin it, it was driving me nuts. It literally driving me nuts. I'm going, what in the hell's going on here? So I took our hoses off and I hooked them up to our garden hose. 80 PSI. Blew out something that was in the water line. Worked like a champ after that. Huh. It's just that simple. You could even maybe use an air hose. But just hooking up to a regular, your garden hose off your house, that should definitely work.
Yeah, so even if when it's not freezing or you're not, if your pump is not running, the system still works as a gravity fed system.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's just,
gravity.
So it should always have something coming out of the nipples when the chickens.
Yes, gravity is an amazing thing. Speaking of gravity, I was just trying to lead up to that. Have you been watching all the aliens that are on this planet now and the use of gravity? Fascinating.
Yeah, I've had some.
Is that a no?
I've had some people ask if they can use like a 20-gallon container or something like that, or 10-gallon. But I was concerned about the amount of pressure needed for the system. I said,
okay, great question.
Yeah.
They can, because it doesn't require a lot of pressure.
I said you might have to put it higher.
The higher it goes, the more pressure you're going to have. Yes. But as long as the water level is above, it will work. It may not be enough pressure that the chickens aren't going to get bored. We want them to work a little, but when they push on this, water should come out.
Yeah.
They don't want to be sprayed in the face, but they should have enough water coming out that they're able to drink.
Okay.
Great question. Yeah, if you guys have questions specific to your water systems, your heated water systems, now is the time. Okay, so speaking of cold, so you mentioned one of the other problems we have with chickens in the cold is frostbite.
That's right.
All right, and then so frostbite is very real.
Yeah, and somebody mentioned that their rooster got frostbite because of the big comb, probably.
Okay, exactly. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people make with their chicken coops is they are very worried about the cold temperature, and frostbite, you can always have that potential. However, one of the worst things you can do is put a heater inside your chicken coop. And the reason why I say it's one of the worst things you can do is because it's so not necessary that it actually could increase the chances of frostbite.
And cause a fire.
And as you guys see here, every year we get one or two calls. Someone's burned their coop down because of using typically those infrared heat lamps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's another one of those anthropomorphizing the chickens. They huddle together at night. They have downy feathers. But I'm sure frostbite in really cold places is an issue.
Right. And if you live in a very cold climate, or a climate that can get really cold in the winter, try to pick your chickens that do not have a large comb. Pick chickens that are booted, to protect their feet.
Like the Brahma.
Mm-hmm.
So explain to people how heating it can actually increase frostbite.
I'm sorry, I was reading a question.
So explain to people how heating the hen house will actually increase your chances of frostbite.
Because, okay, folks, it's simple. One word: consistency. If you have chickens hanging out in the hen house at night and you got the windows closed and you insulated it, which means you blocked off ventilation and you're heating it. The chickens at night are like, oh, this is nice. Yeah, I'm sure they're cozy, they're warm, but because you trapped it, you're increasing humidity.
Right.
And that humidity gets on them, and it gets on their comb, it gets on their feet. And the sun comes up, and the chickens are like, okay, time to get out of this hen house, time to get down outside and start working, start feeding themselves. They leave that warm, moist hen house, go down into the run where it is very cold, and they're covered with moisture that increases the chance of frostbite. Also, that drastic change in temperature is very stressful to the chicken. You want consistency. So what I would tell you is if you are adamant, hell-bent on keeping your chickens warm in the winter and you're going to heat up the hen house, you better heat up that run. You need consistency. Also, you got to block the wind chill. But I can't tell you enough, it's not needed. And you run a risk with any electrical heat source, gas heat source, whatever the case may be, you run a risk. Think about how much combustible material there is in a chicken coop.
I know. It's like it's just kindling.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Block the wind. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, so speaking of blocking the wind, these things are amazing. And I do love when people call up. We've been getting those calls recently like, my gosh, Matt, these storm shields are amazing. They can walk into their run. And even if the temperature is the same inside and outside, even though it will be a little bit warmer inside the hen house and in the run, and you do want it to ventilate still, just by blocking that wind chill, it feels 20 degrees warmer. It's absolutely incredible. If your chickens could, they would say thank you as soon as you walk in there. They absolutely love it. So important to keep chickens working. Yeah.
So here's like some snow and places where it's cold, where the storm shields. You don't need them down here in North Carolina, but...
Oh my gosh, people in the South insist more that they have to have storm shields than the people up north. It kills me. But this is a great picture. So here's a coop in New Hampshire that you can't see the storm shields that are on. Love it.
Isn't that great? Okay.
And yes, you can put them on the outside, but I don't recommend it. Give them corn and scratch grain. So we were talking about that. We're talking about this at the beginning of the show. A great way, especially at night, that helps keep them warm because they're digesting the food. They're digesting the grains. And if I remember correctly, especially if it's a high carbohydrate, high sugar source food, that helps them stay warmer.
Yeah, Jennifer says, in our pampered poultry palace, I give our chickens warm oatmeal with black soldier fly larvae, cayenne pepper, and cinnamon right before bed to keep them warm.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, she's... Let's all go to Jennifer's house for some oatmeal.
Hold the black soldier fly larva, please.
Really? I think you've eaten it.
Collect eggs more, right, so they don't freeze.
Yeah, so somebody had that too, had said that about the, for us here in North Carolina, it's usually not that cold that we have to worry about it, but when the temperature doesn't even get above 20 degrees, then yeah.
All right, real quick, something just occurred to me. Can you go back to that question? Scroll down a little bit and then just bring this in. Something just occurred to me that I think Michael E. might be referring to.
This one?
Yeah, bring that back up because you got to get rid of the overlay. So again, when the pump is running, so I forgot to mention this part because when you read this, what he's trying to say is potentially it works, Matt, when the pump's not running, but once the pump turns on, no water's coming out of the nipples, right? If I read that correctly.
Okay.
So it just occurred to me what's going on. And this is what you asked. And this is one of the reasons why you don't. You don't want to create a vacuum or suction on your water bar. You want to create pressure. He either has the pump on the wrong side of the water bar, if this is happening, or the pump is pointed the wrong way.
What do you mean?
Those are things to check, Michael.
Yes, meaning if you are trying to suck water through the water bar, when the chickens go to hit the nipples, if anything, you're going to be putting air into the water line, which is bad.
Oh, so instead of it pumping it through, it's sucking it out?
It's the lines are reversed.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if your pump is backwards or on the wrong side, you are vacuuming, if you will, the water bar, and that's not what you want. You want it under pressure. And I can see if, again, reading his question, that could be what's going on. So I forgot to talk about, because I thought that was interesting. We said when the pump is running, meaning maybe
it's either flow or you've got something messed up here.
But if it is working without the pump on and then stops working with the pump on, oh yeah, pump is in the wrong direction or on the wrong side of the water bar. I do see it. A common mistake.
Yeah, because Simon said about the eggs thing. If your eggs freeze overnight, remember to check for hairline cracks in the shell before storing them.
Or just use those right away.
Yeah.
Especially if the inner membrane is
Ooh,
intact.
I see a tip.
What's that?
I don't know. Let's read it. Yeah,
a tip.
I love a good pro tip. I put a 4-foot by 4-foot sheet of reflective mylar over the chicken roost to reflect the heat back down to the chickens. That's not bad because chickens, what is their body temperature?
About 100.
They actually, if I remember, Lisa Steele was making this statement. And I'm sure it's accurate, but we should verify it. Or it's in one of her books that I read. A chicken is 15 watts of heat energy.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, they give off so much warmth. They're actually a heater. And absolutely, if you put reflective mylar up there, that could help with consistency. That's interesting. So Don, you say you do this, which is, it's again, great idea. It sounds good. Is it actually working? Like, what have you noticed? Have you ever done a test where you put some mylar on one side of the hen house and not on the other, and do all the chickens try to huddle under that?
I can't imagine the chaos of putting mylar in. When I hung up that curtain, those chickens freaked out. Like, it takes forever for them to get used to something new. So you have this like crinkly, shiny mylar on the top.
Hopefully they don't look up. And you do it while they're gone. Yeah. I wouldn't do it while they're in there trying to sleep.
Chickens look up that's like a mirror on the ceiling.
I know.
Chicken, bow wow.
Exactly.
Right. Nice.
So
I see where you're going with that. Don, let me know a little bit more about that. That's a fascinating suggestion.
So Cluck Cluck Chicken says hello from Ohio.
Sparky Prep says, God, I love the chaos. We don't fake it, folks. No. This is so real. Doing a live show it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Thank you. I work in downtown chat. Oh, yeah, there's Eddie. It's all right. Maybe a little too much. Argyle. I'm sure you know what he means by that.
That's the type of person that wears argyle.
I don't know what argyle is.
It's a pattern.
Oh, the
like plaid.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like diamonds.
Yeah. I see Chapel Hill is big on that.
Preppy.
Okay. Wait. I'm gonna go back to. I think I had one more slide.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's get back into the slide.
Oh my God, I don't know where I am anymore.
It's 12:52 already. I can't believe it.
Here we go. All right. So collect eggs more often, and somebody had a question about this. Some chickens will molt at the worst time.
Yeah, not a time to molt.
Yeah. This one, the one on the left, my little Sussex. Yeah, that's her from yesterday.
Yeah, I have one that is molting right now. It is strange. And sometimes they break the rules too.
Yeah.
I love chickens that break the rules because, I can't break rules.
You're a rule breaker.
I can't break any rules. So.
Well, it's funny.
Thanks for the eye roll, Matt.
I only have anecdotal evidence here, but the one on the right, the barred rock, her first molt she did like in January or February, and since then she's always molted at the right time. And now this speckled Sussex is molting. It's her first molt, so I just find that interesting that she's also decided to do it when it's cold.
Yeah,
we're supposed to get like 12 degrees over the weekend.
Robert Pizzo says definitely have to change the way we use our watering system.
So I take fresh water every hour or two.
Yeah. I mean, again, and I'm not trying to sell you guys on, if you don't have this system, my job right now is not to sell it, but we love selling them. Our job right now is to help you as chicken owners. Or if you're thinking about getting into chickens, you're like, I don't want to deal with water. You don't have to.
Misty says she likes the Coop Works water and de-icer, which we debuted that on our show.
We haven't heard from Misty in a while, have we?
No, she said earlier on that she hasn't been able to catch the show.
Well, so Misty, Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. Hope everything's going well. She's one of the customers I would love to go visit. We have not been out to the Pacific Northwest in so long, but we are so due. And I would just love to go meet with them.
A road trip.
Yep. We might be going out to California soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Even someone knew the name on my desk. I was like, I didn't even know who that person was. I hope we get to make it happen, right, Ingrid?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize who her mother is.
I said it yesterday.
Oh, phew.
You don't absorb
I'm starstruck.
stuff when I
can't wait.
things.
What did she just say?
I said you don't absorb things when you listen to me and then you turn me off. You listen to that's probably how.
1,500 watts on constantly is overkill for a couple of gallons of water. That would be like a kettle. So interesting statement. If 15, yeah, I mean, that is a true statement if it's on constantly. The nice thing about the de-icer, it's not on constantly. It has that internal switch. And this is why, I think I've been doing a good job. De-icer, de-icer, de-icer. It's not a heater. The de-icer only keeps the water at about 43 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't want it warm. If you have a heated water system and you go up to your rain barrel and you touch it and it's warm, you got a heater, not a de-icer. And years ago, we had this problem. This lady kept having clogs in her rain barrel system. And I was hellbent I will not be stumped. Truth be told. I'm like, I can't figure out what the hell's going on here. And I kept trying to tell her, I'm like, if it's set up right, it'll work. She's like, Matt, she's sending me pictures, sending me videos. Finally, I got fed up. I went all the way down to like Philadelphia. Soon as I went up to her rain barrel, I just touched it. And it was so warm. Couldn't believe it. And I lift up the lid and it was like she was fermenting. She was fermenting apple cider vinegar. And it was just so coagulated and clogging her system. Wow. I was like, well, here you go. And of course, I pull it out. Sure enough, she had a heater, not a de-icer. And you don't know the difference until you look at that part number.
Right. And I think we were always calling it back in the day the heated water system. And I was telling Paul, who does the videos, like, don't refer to it as that because it's not really heating. It's just keeping it from freezing.
Anti-freezing poultry water system.
So Brian says I had wild rabbits chew through the wire to my pump, resoldered the wires, but now I have to wait until the hose is thawed to plug it back in.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
You know the other things that'll chew on those wires?
Rats.
Well, yes, but something you may not think about. I never knew how much geese chew.
Really?
No, I didn't know that either.
They chew on everything.
Would they be able to get through that, though?
Oh, God, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you'll notice on the de-icer, I don't know if we have one in here. You would think we would have brought one in. I wanted to show you guys there's a wire that wraps around. That's a bite guard for like cattle. And interesting. Maybe we should add a bite guard to the pumps.
They're so small though. Like what would you do?
I don't know. Figure it out. That's interesting.
So Alan asks, do you have the hemp bedding for sale yet? Do you know the prices?
All right, hold on. So you actually could just run the wire inside the run. Again, not everyone has a run, but that's another advantage to having a run that's screened. Don't pop the wire out immediately and then go up, which is what I actually usually do. I never thought about this. Keep it up on the inside and then bump out to prevent things from chewing on it that shouldn't be chewing on it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. We should
Pro
write
tip.
that down.
Do I get a golden bell for that one?
You get the shirt of your choice.
Nice. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop you. What were you going to say?
That's okay. Alan asked if we have the hemp bedding. I think he means like the nesting pads because we have hemp bedding for sale. The hemp nesting material I'm like very close to it being online.
I was told yesterday you were ready for us. It was a matter of flipping a switch. You have no idea what took place here yesterday because of that.
There's nothing on the website that's like flipping a switch.
Flipping a switch. That's what I picture you doing. You're like flip. Okay. Oh, what's that? Okay. Oh, flip.
Wait.
That's not what you do?
We're talking about hemp bedding or hemp nesting.
I think they mean the hemp.
Just wanted to be
nesting.
Clear.
Ingrid said that way. You don't.
Sorry, I was writing.
She's putting down.
I'm sorry, I was writing down the
she wrote
tip.
A little
I'm sorry.
Pro tip. Anyway, the last piece of the puzzle is the shipping because we're going to be shipping this through FedEx because that was the best price, and because it's going to be shipping included, we want to get the best price.
Nicole. What? Come on in here, please.
I have the answers to these questions.
Oh, sorry, I did not. Then what?
What's flipping?
The whole switch to flip? Let's do it right now.
It's the FedEx thing. I was trying to get it connected this morning for shipping, and there was just some problems. So Nicole's reaching out to them, and I just had to get some information to hook up our FedEx account with Shopify, and then it can go.
I think she did that. That's what she was doing this morning. Here's the thing I've learned recently. My God, are we learning? Did you know Amazon? How hard can things be, right?
Right.
Amazon because we talked about how our hemp's going to be FBA, and then I'm breaking some rules. I'm going 2 inches over. We haven't even reached that point yet. They rejected the carrier because they're not a preferred trucking company. I had no idea. Amazon actually says, we don't accept your kind here.
Wow.
Yeah, and the hard part was that you were allowed when you decide to ship something, you can do it through your own carrier to the warehouses or theirs. So we did our own because we get good deals with them, and it's 100 bales of hemp, so we're trying to not
pass
lose
along
money.
pass along the savings to the customer. Like what we do to keep the prices down for our customers, it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, well, and also, I mean, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but the margin on the hemp is really not big for us at all.
It's almost non-existent when it comes to FBA. Yeah, pretty much. Here's why people put their products on Amazon. It's real simple. It's not to make money. It's a form of marketing. And that's exactly what we're doing. People are going to be on Amazon, and all of a sudden they come across something that has a Carolina Coops logo, Carolina Coops name. That's the only reason why I do it. Right. Oh, yeah. We pretty much lose money. Oh, we're absolutely losing money now, but that's what you got to do to get your name out there.
So right now they don't exist on Amazon because they're in limbo. They're in purgatory. They can't be delivered.
Suzanne Smith. Okay, hold on. Bring that up.
This one?
Yes. Okay, I want to get to this. Okay, so before I forget, so we're just waiting for that nesting material to find out about FedEx, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, I have to set everything up on
But
FedEx.
We have pricing right now.
Yeah, so it would be $19.99 for one big tube, which here, I'm going to show it to you guys, that will make at least 3 nests, I think more, but hang on.
Well, again, I'm trying to make everyone happy. Some people like it real fluffy. They like a big bed. Thank you. Look at you, Ingrid. So $20. $20, and this should fill easily 3 nest boxes. And like Ingrid saying, maybe a little bit more. And I figured that's better. I don't want people calling up and be like, oh, I don't got enough.
And there's more. Don't order.
Well, that includes.
Don't order yet. But wait, there's more.
That includes shipping.
Yes. So, but if you order 2 of those tubes, you save because it's only $29.99.
Yeah, buy one, get one.
And if you order 3, it's $39.99.
So
you're saving by buying 3.
Yes,
which will give you all sorts of nest
because of shipping. So I don't want people to think, oh, wow, Matt, you must have some hell of a markup on it because if I buy 3 of them, look at the discount. It has nothing to do with this. It has to do with shipping. That's where the savings comes in. I don't try to make money off of shipping. We try to make sure shipping is as cheap as possible so that we can, again, pass along that savings. And there is no such thing as free shipping. That's why we say shipping included.
Right.
I just think that's a hell of a deal, but that's going to be through FedEx.
Yes, because FedEx actually gave us the best prices for this. So we usually use UPS, but in this case, FedEx was giving a better price, but we had to set up a whole account and stuff, so all that. And then I have to flip switches on the website so it works.
FedEx, pain in the butt to deal with. UPS, great. FedEx pricing, I don't know how they make money. So it's been interesting learning to work with FedEx. And we may not. There's some cases we have to, but FedEx. Oof.
Well, I think it's just a rocky start. I think it'll be okay. So, do you want this question?
Yeah. So Suzanne Smith, question. So, are you saying us off-gridders are SOL? We're referring to the solar system to keep it from freezing. Mm-hmm. No, because I would think off-gridders, they have a solar system that is the beefed up one I'm talking about because you're probably being very minimalistic, which is good. You want to be very conservative with the energy usage, which is good. But you're also like, this is my source of energy, so I got to make sure I have something reliable.
It's an investment for a home. You're not going to make that kind of investment for a chicken coop.
For just a chicken coop. So
for just the water,
right.
For just in the winter.
So if you are off grid and you're saying you don't use any electric, I guess you'd have to start a fire underneath the heater.
You do battery storage and
yeah. So it depends how off grid
it's just
you
different.
are. Mm-hmm.
No, you're not.
No what?
No, you are not.
No what?
I don't want to say it, but I will, because there is an idea, concept I've been thinking about that I want to do very soon. It's the opposite of keeping it from freezing. It's to keep it cooler in the summertime.
Oh, a geothermal?
Geothermal. Mm-hmm. You can do the same thing in the winter. You go down with a solar pump and through a coil below your frost line. Technically, that will take the cold out of the water, allowing it to warm up, and then come back up. I'm not saying it's going to work. So I wouldn't say you're SOL, but that's something to think about. We forget how consistent it is, 3 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot, depending on where you live, down below your feet.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, because I was saying in the summer that I was running the pump and I had it on a timer, so I wasn't running it all day. But we found out, like, those pumps have a 30,000 hour life to them. So you don't want the pump to be running all the time.
Hold on. You're skipping a lot of stuff.
Well, I'm looking at what's...
I know. Go back up. Go back up. Slow down. I'm still... what feedback you have received on the Coop works? Water nipples freezing, or does it require a de-icer? Okay. So there is the Coop works that has the option for the de-icer. Misty was just talking about how she loves hers. Right. So that is available. I'm still looking forward to the show on electric barriers, unless I missed it. Electric barrier. Oh,
electric fence.
Yes. No, you have not missed it.
No.
I'm thinking probably springtime. I do want to do that because I want to... I believe in it. I think it's very effective, and it's not complicated.
And I'll dig up the video of you getting shocked on your farm in
I would
New
like
York.
to have that on my phone.
You have what?
The video of you were shooting a video, and it was up at your farm in New York, and you were feeding the chickens scraps, and they all come running, and then you got shocked up by your own fence.
You're kidding me.
No, that's good.
Oh, I've been nailed.
I have all these videos for like blooper reels.
Have you ever been shocked by an electric fence?
Haven't,
it's not fun. It hurts. Thank God it shuts off. It'll lock you. Oh, it nails you. I'll have to see that. I don't remember that. Was that Ingrid that we got to see for about 2 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We got a lot of comments coming in.
I know.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, welcome. We had major technical difficulties at the beginning of the show. We had to swap out computers real quick.
Yeah,
so things are a little off. We didn't have the promo. Right. We need to change up the backdrop. I think it's time to change this up.
I was going to do that, but I got bombarded with other stuff.
If you guys have any suggestions for the backdrop, again, we whipped this up in COVID. We've really never got fancy. I thought it'd be fun to start getting fancy. Maybe have a round table conversation, cameras in front of us. Do it like, like the Rogan show or the Kelsey show, all the different cameras. I thought that'd be fun.
Christina says, what social media platform is the best one to watch you guys live on? And I would say YouTube.
YouTube. There's a lot of comments on YouTube, and I don't think that you can see them on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep. So most people do listen from YouTube.
Yep. Okay. Keep talking, Matt. Stop reading.
I'm reading.
No, don't read.
I know this is
what
the
kind
only.
Of host are you?
This is the only time I like to read. Well, I want to make sure you have a tendency to kind of skip by some things.
She is the producer.
But
I bring in what's relevant and
important. I see a lot of things that are relevant.
You think everything, and you're like, "Whoa, what does that mean?" No, that.
What's Kirchhoff's law?
Oh, I don't know. He said Sparky Prep said for extension cord sizing, Google Kirchhoff's law.
Oh, you would think it'd be Ohm's law, but
what is it?
You probably know, like the distance.
Yeah. So the longer the cord, the more resistance. So you might have to bump up the gauge. So if you we had to run, I think 3,000 feet to go out to our pump. That's how far our well is from our house in New York. And when we measured that, we had to use a huge gauge wire because of the distance. So you got to make it bigger because you're going to increase resistance. So important that you use the right size extension wire.
Just get the very best you can.
Fun fact about Ohm's law. Have you ever had a spool of wire and you needed to know how much wire is on that spool and you didn't want to unspool the whole thing to see if you have enough to run a circuit? You ever been in that situation? Yes? No?
No.
But you'll love this. You can tell how much wire is on that spool by using Ohm's law. You measure the resistance, and it'll tell you how many feet are on there. But I'm not saying that's the same thing. I'm not an electrical engineer. I was just a guy that had to figure out how to fix things.
Hi, Mike Trap.
Yes.
Welcome.
Well, Bridget Snyder says, should have been more specific. Storm shields and heated water system are working just like Matt promised they will. No frozen water and happy chickens. Oh, yeah. She was telling us how much she loves her coop. She was up in Chicago, right? Or Illinois?
Illinois.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you left all your paraphernalia over here, by the way.
What paraphernalia?
Your phone and your walkie-talkie.
Oh, I've been wondering where it is. This has been a crazy morning.
Need it. You're on a show.
Yes. How does your system compare to the one that CoopWorks offers? So, great question. We love CoopWorks. Friends of ours, great people. It's one of the reasons why I love doing business with them. I believe in them. They believe in us. Excellent partnerships. What I love about business. The CoopWorks is just a lot smaller, and you're going to have to put that inside your run, which could take up too much space if you don't have enough room. So it's almost the same concept. It's just, do you want to keep 50 gallons warm and circulate it, but not have to have this thing inside the run? Or if you have room for it, I don't know what the price is. I think that's important to note. I don't know what the price difference is, but I would say, to be fair, the CoopWorks system is a lot user-friendly. It's easier because there's no moving parts.
Totally.
But one of the things that people love about our water systems is in the summertime, like Ingrid, you'll say you'll use your pump on a timer to help cool the water down. Mm-hmm. So there's pros and cons to everything.
Right. So it's an 8-gallon capacity, the CoopWorks, and it's $195.
And that's probably without the de-icer.
So do the math. How much is that per gallon, and then how much is our system per gallon? If that helps to kind of make a decision. But that's a legit question.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that does have the de-icer in it. So that's just the water silo without the de-icer. Correct.
All right, what else do we have going on here?
Yeah, keep on scrolling. Ingrid, please note that the 2 red arrows are in the wrong direction around the loop.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
That might be, yeah. Is that in the wrong direction? Ben says, is it even VCL if my
they're not
here?
And then this, like...
Hold on. He says that 2 red arrows are... Bring that up. Let's talk about this, because... Oh, is it around
it's around the loop. He's right.
I don't see what you're saying.
Oh, hold on. Bring this up,
He gets the bell for that.
Let me do it.
Oh, come on. I'm a co-host. You can let me have one.
You just took all that fun away from me.
You do it all the time.
I was so going to give him a bell, but all right, go ahead.
I did.
In this loop here?
Yeah.
I did. Well, we need to verify.
Well, yeah, you follow the line.
And he's correct.
Yep.
Yes. So go ahead. Now, go ahead.
Good job.
No, you got to ring him more than once.
Email
Ingrid.com.
Ingrid at carolinacoops.com.
Thank you.
And let her know what you want.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, that is awesome.
Good catch, because...
I'm going to make a note of that.
Yes.
I don't know which one that we ended up using. Danielle made a bunch of them. So Elizabeth Gottfried, our wait, hang on, I got to get rid of this.
Good catch.
Okay. Elizabeth Gottfried, who was a friend of the show, I had awesome Kristen come to do a personal check and plug in stuff correctly on my system. Greatest service ever from Carolina Coops.
Good job. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Awesome, Kristen.
Yeah.
AK?
I also got to pet her cat on the front porch.
Oh,
speaking of cat,
very cute little kitty.
Speaking of cat, I got to bring Leo in, I think, for one show. His eyes are starting to get very yellow, like very rich and yellow with his gray, and his mane is coming in. Maine Coons are an awesome cat.
I'd like to bring in my pet pigeons. They're really awesome.
Well, my cats will beat up your pigeons.
I bet they would.
Put a treadmill in there and tell them to run if they are cold.
So,
my sister's hen house burnt down due to the heater. She lost half her flock that day. That sucks.
So
I'm sorry.
sad.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, so
Ingrid's doing the side look from behind the computer. That's so funny.
Does it work to coat their combs and wattles with coconut oil?
I've heard that, or Vaseline.
Yeah, petroleum jelly just seems very wrong.
It seems very wrong?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Maybe because it's not natural. And coconut oil is.
Vaseline oil or Vaseline's not natural?
It's petroleum jelly.
It's a petroleum-based product.
But doesn't it come from the earth? Oil?
That's true.
Anyway, I think you can.
You're with me. Thank you.
But I thought I read something on one of these chicken
Does
forums.
oil really come from dinosaurs? That's my question lately. Because I have read so many things or watched that oil doesn't come from dinosaurs. We've been lied to all these years. I would love if anyone has some input on that.
I'm sure there's a
Do you think
whole rabbit hole of input on that.
Why has it got to be a rabbit hole? Why can't it be a chicken hole or something? What do you think oil came from dinosaurs?
I don't think about it.
Yeah,
but
dinosaurs didn't make it, did they?
No, they didn't make the oil. Can you imagine?
Well, yeah. Why are you saying it came from dinosaurs?
You're kidding me right now.
Like the dinosaurs themselves or the dinosaur era?
Okay, never mind. Supposedly,
The
all
T-Rex arms aren't even long enough to make
Are you trying to be
oil.
funny? You're trying to be funny. Okay, there you go. Moving on.
How are they going to stir the pot?
So Susan asked, if you block the run with the storm shields, how does the run stay ventilated?
All right. I'm sorry. Bring it in so I can read it. I see.
I know, you're just like, you're so distractible. You're like,
Sparky says, Fisherman Ryan is here now. It's a party. I love it.
I feel like I have to like shiny keys.
You know what would be really cool?
What?
We would never be able to pull this off. But imagine if one day we had a live show and somehow all our super fans were all able to be in front of us like a live show.
Yeah, like a chicken convention.
A chicken convention. Let's do this out in Vegas.
The chicken convention is probably in Iowa. I haven't checked, but...
Susan Smith, question. If you block the run with storm shields, how does the run stay ventilated? Great question. And I'm glad you brought that up. When it comes to our coop, one, right away, is because the ridge cap is open. You need everything to still exhaust out through the top. But here's the thing to think about. Even if the ridge cap was not ventilated, what you have to understand about structures is they breathe. Even, if you think about older homes, I mean, they're closed up, but there is so much breathing going on because they're poorly insulated. You got cracks around windows. When it comes to these chicken coops, they still breathe even with the storm shields on. If we went into a box, if you will, and spray foamed it, sealed it up tight like an igloo cooler, that's different. So you have to think about air's even coming through materials. It'll block the wind chill, but it doesn't mean there's still not an exchange, that there's still not some ventilation. So we're not trying to stop the exchange when it comes to the storm shields. We're stopping the wind chill. So hopefully that makes sense. And not to mention, the other thing is, one of the things I love about our coops, they're so big. I haven't said this in a while. You have room for error. If you're in this tiny little thing, you could suffocate it real quick. So you have plenty of room for error.
Yeah. And some people don't put it on the door or maybe cut like halfway because you want to block where the chickens are in the run, correct? The lower half more than anything. So you could leave part.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to use every storm shield. And
Yeah.
I would put only half of them on in the fall, take half of them off in the spring.
Sorry, reading things, and something else just occurred to me, especially
Go ahead,
for
go ahead.
off-gridders.
What?
Oh my gosh, I want to do this. When you compost and you build it up to a certain layer, you could actually heat your water because it gets up to 170, 180 degrees inside a compost. Mm-hmm. So again, you could use a smaller solar system and use a circulating pump that doesn't require a lot of usage, a lot of wattage, a lot of power off your solar system. But the de-icer would, versus if you run that coil through compost that is cooking and then run that water into a coil inside the water barrel, because I'm not saying run the water that the chickens are going to drink. Let me be clear here. You would run water to heat up the water that's inside the rain barrel. They never touch each other. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That would work.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Not all compost will get to that temperature, though.
True.
True. It's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah,
scientifically to get to that point.
No, you do because we've done it. We have a thermometer for it, and
build it up.
You have to have a
you have to have a
huge
lot.
mass.
You do. You do.
And you have to have the right mix.
Yep.
True. I won't say it's complicated.
Well, it's not like everybody's compost pile is going to get to that kind of temperature.
That's true. But I'm saying it's not that hard either. I bet you there's a lot of preppers out there, a lot of off-gridders that do it all the time. I mean, if you watch Joel Salatin's videos, he talks about...
He's got a huge farm.
I'm just saying, again, but he explains it's not that difficult, but it's not easy either. So,
yeah, I just don't like to oversimplify things.
Yeah,
sometimes.
And I have a question for Wanda Williams. She says 2 of my Rhode Island Reds are molting now. Crazy. Wanda, are those chickens that were born this past spring,
or the year before? See, mine's the first molt. So if they're born in the spring, they probably wouldn't molt till next year, correct?
Yeah, they shouldn't be. But let me know when those chicks were hatched.
Yeah.
Was it spring of 2023, or was it earlier than that?
Yeah.
And Elizabeth Gottfried is asking, how do you attach the Mylar to the inside of the roof in the hen house? Interesting.
You could probably just put thumbtacks on the
I would put.
Let's try this.
Okay.
Because it does make sense.
You're gonna do a science.
Well, because I mean that's kind of there's a survival tactic that you can do with clear plastic and a reflective material. You can really warm up inside a fire by amplifying as that the heat and the light from the fire comes off, but you have to reflect it, and then it traps. I don't know the physics of it, but I just know I've seen it, and it's incredible. It's kind of the same thing.
Jennifer Storm says her blue cochin is trying to go broody in the deep freeze, and Elizabeth Gottfried also has one molting.
We can't switch to the comments. This is where I wanted the comments to come up off to the side, but all right, keep on going. And while you bring in some more questions and comments, I'm going to pretend that I'm not reading and that I don't want to miss any. What California awesome? I don't get it. We are going fishing.
There you go. I hated my heated rain barrel water bar. They kept pecking out the O-rings and leaks everywhere, so I just switched out hot water every 2 hours. So I don't know if this person has our system or
I hated my heated rain barrel water bar. So let's just assume it is. They keep pecking out the O-rings and leaks everywhere.
So
the O-rings should not come out.
Right. Please explain that, because I would love to know a little bit more. So to explain, folks, there is, I'm going to do the best I can if you can see it on camera. There's a little black O-ring right there, and that's what stops the water from coming out. And if your nipples are having an internal leak, you got something right there that's stopping the O-ring from seating properly. So you got to clean that out. I have never once, not ever once, seen or had anyone say that a chicken was able to peck out the O-ring. And I think what they might be saying, and please clarify, that the chickens are able to grab onto the stainless steel trigger and pull on it hard enough to release that O-ring like that. There's no way.
Yeah, the whole thing would fall apart.
However, I would not be surprised with some of the Chinese knockoffs. Some of these Chinese knockoffs nipples are horrible.
Yeah.
And that is another thing. I've seen the O-rings disintegrate like in a month. That would have to be one magic loogie.
Yeah. Don Gallagher says
Seinfeld. Anyone? All right, thank you.
The Mylar is connected to a 1/4-inch Luan, so it's easy to remove. The coop is 8x8, but the roosts are only in the 4x4 area. You can feel the heat over the chickens.
That is really impressive.
Yeah. Wow. I can't believe you never thought of that, Matt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to make a note.
I try to think of so many things.
Well, you lived in such a cold climate.
Not anymore. You know what I did when I lived in that cold climate?
What?
I said, I'm moving. I said it sounds
And
like
welcome to North Carolina.
Thank you. I love Bo-Berry biscuits. All right. No, that is fascinating. Can you let the pump run continuously without the electric switch? Can you? Yes, it's not recommended. The pumps we sell have a 30,000 hour life under perfect conditions.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why the thermostatic switch is actually probably the cheapest component of the whole thing, the least expensive, I should say. Not the cheapest, but the least expensive, in that it's just better to not have the pump ready, because those are also small pumps. They're really not made to run, like to pump all the time.
Wanda says FedEx sucks. So I'm glad it's not only me. I tell you, it's not been a good go. That's for sure.
Well, there's, we've had problems with UPS, especially how much their prices went up and stuff, and their surcharges.
That's interesting. On my American 2x24 clone, thank you for mentioning that, 6x8 hen house, I have 60 gauge marine grade vinyl windows. 60 gauge. I wonder how thick that is. With temp sensors both in and out of the hen house, I typically see the house stays 4 degrees warmer at night with my 13 chickens. I believe it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They can produce a lot of heat, and they're snuggling on the roost bar.
Amazon in Europe are completing in general pallet shipping with Amazon logistics. What does that mean?
Competing.
It says completing.
Okay.
No? All right.
He probably meant competing.
Okay. Mike Trapp uses the flat panel chicken coop heater for...
Maybe he's suggesting it. Or does he use it? Oh, no, he did say he uses it.
Why does he use it in California, Mike? Why do you need that?
Elizabeth,
inquiring minds want to know.
What is the price for the bedding if I come in? I'm assuming, is she talking about the nesting or the nest? The
nesting, I'm sure.
I was gonna say, because she's been here and bought
that's a good question, because shipping is included on that.
Ooh, what is the price? Great question.
Yeah,
Nicole.
We're gonna have a pickup price for that.
Need you, Nicole. Yeah, because we're just gonna subtract what shipping would be. Then there's sales tax. Can't avoid that.
Right.
You guys hear me?
There's sales tax.
I would say if we are going to take off the shipping, I think the shipping's about $10. So I'm guessing it would be somewhere around $10.
Benjamin says we need a blooper video.
Put it on your list.
Could you
Ingrid?
imagine if we filmed as much as I wish we would have? The bloopers and the fighting, everything.
I think Ingrid mentioned all the bloopers from the show.
Oh.
Too. I mean, well, no, it was the fencing.
It was the fencing. There's people running into egg hutches. There's all sorts.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
That was.
Did we ever show that?
No.
I don't think we ever should.
No.
That scared me.
Yeah.
We had a customer with his boy, very young, and it happens, you're a little boy or child, and you go running, you're excited, and you're running with your head down, and there just happens to be an egg hutch sticking out of the side of your chicken coop.
That wasn't there before.
That was
It was brand new.
brand new. We're literally shooting a video.
Showing it off.
And he has 2 boys, and one of them just real excited. It was so hard the sound. I was like, oh my gosh, he just knocked himself out. And just right on his back. And of course, I'm like, okay, I don't know how this father is going to handle this. I know how we handled it, and that was don't overreact. Don't give into making it like, oh, you poor thing. And of course, that's what the father did. He goes, oh, I guess you won't do that again.
Kid did just jump right up. He did. Like he wasn't phased.
Well, kind of. No, he had, oh, God, that was horrible. But
we have other good blooper stuff. But yeah. So Misty says, I haven't noticed the nipples freezing with the Coop Works waterer and de-icer. My lid did freeze, though, but the water was fine.
Come on, say it. Please bring it in.
All right. You're reading them regardless. I don't.
But I'm not.
Okay.
I haven't noticed the nipples freezing with the Coop Works water and de-icer. My lid did freeze.
Has anyone noticed that the honeymoon is over between me and Matt?
Wait, we went on a honeymoon?
It's just a phrase. Like, we're getting so frustrated with each other. It's
you're bickering like an old couple.
What?
I'll explain to you later, Matt.
Thanks. I don't notice it. Hold on. So her lid did freeze.
He's not even acknowledging your statement.
So, because I guess it was so cold that the water was fine and the nipples were fine, but there might have been some water on the lid and it froze or whatever.
Yeah, that would make sense. I can see that. That's interesting. I appreciate that. Good to know.
Could be just from rain or humidity, outside dew or whatever. That I don't know. Mm-hmm. Okay, going on.
So that would happen with our rain barrels potentially. We were talking about the new ones.
We just don't need to fill them. Typically, we don't need to take the lid off.
I'm not going to read.
Anyways, all right, so it is 1:29. I have a 1:30 meeting. I have so many meetings this afternoon. What's the show for next week?
Oh my God.
We have the vet.
No,
right?
not yet.
No?
I messed up. It's my fault.
When is it?
Ingrid does not mess up.
I totally messed up. I did one of those things where I told her Friday, but I gave her the date that was a Thursday. So, so it's going to be in February. I think the 19th or I don't know. It's in February. She's coming in February. I'm going to try to get some guests in between that. But I don't know what we're doing. I am overwhelmed.
Leo is not polydactyl. My first choice was there's my 1:30 right on time. I love it. He is not polydactyl. My first choice, he was polydactyl, but I'm glad we didn't get him. I love Leo. There are conspiracy. Oh gosh, I need a mouse to work. There are conspiracy theories about conspiracy theories. Oh yeah, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Oil. Hold on. Oil is a biotic. What's biotic? It is made in Earth's mantle from hydrogen and carbon with extreme heat and pressure. Wait a minute. So if it doesn't come from dinosaurs, because they keep saying we're going to run out, right? Are you saying that it's...
We are going to run out because the planet doesn't have unlimited resources.
Right, and then there's other people that say, and actually to that point, that we're never going to run out. But so how do you know what to believe?
Because the planet doesn't have unlimited resources. That's just a fact.
But if it's regenerating, it's like the trees keep growing. I'm just curious.
Yeah. Well, Bruce says tickets to the chicken convention are pricey.
Wait, is there really a chicken convention?
Is it a Murray McMurray? What's the MM? What does that mean?
Oh, maybe it is.
The MM chicken
I didn't know there's a chicken convention.
We need to have our own chicken convention.
We need our own Vegas. We're gonna have a party.
I really want to go to Vegas.
What's wrong with Vegas? Oh, such a difficult.
So Amber
employee.
says you mentioned greenhouses before. Any updates on that?
No.
You're not going to pursue that, or
no? Oh, we're pursuing. I got to get around to it. I mean, we're in the middle of a factory reset right now. Like, it is nuts. Once I think I take 5 steps ahead, I only go 10 back. Truth be told, here was my little secret. Is I didn't want to shut down New York. I have equipment, a building, employees. Why shut it down? But the Coops needed to all get under one roof. My backup plan, other than have a dispensary, was to build the greenhouses up there. Oh. And that still could happen. But our focus right now needs to be on these chicken coops. We are so close. I haven't even told you guys. You guys have no idea. We are so darn close to going back to the full knockdown kit coop, where we forgot about something we tried, but because we're adding more CNCs, it's going to be incredible. And you know how we do the roofing system? Mm-hmm. This is probably top. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. You know how we do the roofing system where it's notched? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the very first kit coop? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We notched everything. So everything had an index point when you go to screw all the boards together. You didn't have to use a tape measure. We have, with the reset out there, we're going to have enough room to add more CNCs where we can just batch all our parts and gang them up on the CNC to do all that notching versus doing it all by hand.
That's nice.
Yeah. So literally it's going to be every part's like a Lincoln log and they all kind of connect.
Mike says that he uses his flat panel heater for his brooder, not to heat his coop.
That makes sense.
And then Wanda also said that her chickens that are molting are second year first molt, which is, that's what my chicken molting now is doing too. So I think it's I again, it's anecdotal, but it seems like the first molt might be the poor timing molt.
Okay.
For chickens. For some chickens. I'm not going to say.
Wait, oil consistent? This is what I mean. What I would love to know what really goes on. People say,
this is a chicken show. This is not like the conspiracy about if there's oil.
But there was something about what started it. If Vaseline is organic or not, or natural.
Right.
Okay.
So Matt Ryan wants us to bring back the guy with the black soldier fly.
Yeah, I have to admit that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no, you don't need anything to have soldier fly larva.
Man,
literally, the less you do.
The black soldier fly larva, I got that going late in the summer, and I loved it so much. I tried to bring it inside for the winter. That's
Are you actually
crazy.
talking about the container?
No, yes, the little one.
You got the container going.
Well, I tried to move some from my big container to the little container.
Did you not get a lot of soldier fly larvae when you didn't.
Just tons, and
when you didn't expect it, not in a container. Meaning, it doesn't take.
Oh no, yeah. They just showed up.
Exactly, it doesn't take this special container, and then.
But then I realized, okay, I'm just gonna go with nature. They
don't
overwinter.
You're not getting off the hook.
But it was hard to give up. It's hard to give up those things for the winter.
You attempted to bring in your soldier fly larva breeding program
indoors. I watched YouTube videos.
I believe you.
And
you are nuts.
Do you have a garage? You keep it in the garage.
It is in the garage.
Uh-huh,
yeah, that's what it was.
This is like Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah,
where he's growing the moths.
But they are awesome. Man, they're so fun. You know what's so fun about it is everything goes in there. Nothing gets wasted. All the stuff that the chickens can't eat, which isn't much, but your moldy stuff, rotten stuff.
Oh yeah,
like everything goes in there.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. I told you my worm bin has black soldier fly in it too.
So good job, Ingrid. Thank you so much for getting us through the show. We need to get a little bit better on checking our equipment. And they're like, yeah, we're fine. Just turn the lights on.
Yeah, we do it every week.
Yeah, you know. So next week, the vet is not on next week. What's next week's show, Ingrid?
I don't know.
Is everyone going to be here?
Yeah. I don't know. Now I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know. I might not be here. We need to go do a live show off-site. That's what we need to do. There is so much going on out in the field. And especially we're going to be showing you, there's going to be some amazing pictures coming up of that Dutch store that we talked about in last week's show. We sent out our second one, just absolutely gorgeous.
Bruce says the Chicken Convention, which is Murray's, actually a homesteading convention. So it's not just about chickens, it's a homesteading one. I did not know. Okay, so are you ready to your guys?
Yeah, we don't have our outro. We don't have anything.
We don't.
Here.
We're gonna have to do an abrupt thing.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Actually,
I might have some. I'll have the old outro. How about that? Old outro. Ready?
You got the old outro? I don't even know what the old outro is. Is it even allowed? Go ahead, hit it. Yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend.
See you next week.